like a piece of 20th century hardware. It's not flashy, and it doesn't even have a name.
Kick-ass cancer cell generator.
But here, inside the Sanibel Island garage of John Kanzius, is a machine that sits on the brink of a major medical breakthrough.
Let's give it a whirl here.
A machine that began to take shape 4 years ago, when Kanzius's dreams of retirement were put on hold after he was diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia. He had 24 rounds of chemo, seeing many of the same faces.
Particularly young children walk in with smiles, and then you'd see these people 3 or 4 weeks later, and their smiles had disappeared, along with their hair and everything else. And I just said to myself, we're in a barbaric type of medicine.
Kanzius, a former broadcast executive from Pennsylvania, wondered if his background in physics and radio could come in handy. So he began tinkering, experimenting with pie plates, then hot dogs. His idea?
Try to kill cancer cells, or any cells, with radio waves, making them act like little antennae to pick up the signal and self-destruct.
What's unique is there's no radiation here, and unlike today's radio frequency treatments, is non-invasive. His work sparked an initial buzz in the local medical community. Now some of the nation's most prominent doctors and scientists are using Kanzius's machines in their research. In January, there was a breakthrough at MD Anderson in Houston.
It's complete killing of pancreatic cells within laboratory conditions is very encouraging.
That's the work of this man, Dr. Steve Curley from MD Anderson, who we first met 2 years ago when he was in Florida on a fundraising mission for his research. Right now, he's testing whether cancerous tumors can be wiped out in animals.
We've got a lot more work to do, but this is just very interesting preliminary work.
And there's no cell that can live over 60 degrees centigrade or 135 degrees Fahrenheit or so.
Kanzius shows how quickly a nanoparticle-filled solution can be heated. A nanoparticle is 1/billionth of a meter. Here's the ultimate goal, human testing within the next 2 years. A test subject would be injected with either these gold nanoparticles or the carbon nanoparticles. They would then make their way through the body and attach to the cancer cells. The test subject would then come into the machine and receive a dose of the radio frequency waves. And within moments, those cancer cells would be killed, leaving nearby cells untouched.
That is the Holy Grail. When they attach, and research has shown that they're able to kill them once they attach, the cancer cells. And the question is, how much information can you attach to these nanoparticles?
Another question, will there be enough money to continue this research? There are active fundraisers in Sanibel and in Erie, Pennsylvania, where Kanzius lives during the summer.
And the results just look too phenomenal for anybody to stop at this particular point in time. I really don't think the largest research center in the world would put time and effort and their name on this project if they did not, in the long term, think it would work.
Dr. Curley says MD Anderson recently purchased only the second microscope of its kind in the world.
We are using an ability for us to see nanoparticles actually within the cells. Again, that's going to be crucial for us to prove that when we target these nanoparticles to the cancer cells, that we're actually getting them into the cells.
But even with all the positive momentum, will John Kanzius still be around to see if his invention can change the world?
This project, which I live and sleep every day, drives me to not think about my own personal problems.
Originally, the prevailing wisdom was this machine would be too slow to help someone with soft tissue disease like leukemia. Now the thought process has changed.
Theoretically, what I started to end up doing for other people with other diseases, and not myself, may come back to reward people with leukemia.
For Kanzius, the ultimate reward may not be that far off.
Well, I'd like to think it's an invention for the world. You know, maybe it was luck, maybe it was perseverance, but I think there might have been a lot of people in this world praying for a cure for cancer.